Hi, my name is Zane Allen, and the purpose of this video is to walk you through a demonstration of the upcoming feature for fleet-wide management that we're calling Fusion here at Pure Storage, one of our industry-first innovations that we offer on the Pure Storage platform. Before we get into the demonstration, just a kind of brief explanation of what we're aiming to achieve with this feature that's going to be built into every Purity array. As we look at the market, we can see all of these changing factors that are affecting our customers in this space from an IT perspective. And this is really built into the ethos of Purity from the beginning, and that is simplifying storage management, taking all those complicated tasks, solving those for our customers, and then offering a simple to use platform that provides all the services and performance that fit their use cases and needs. And things are changing at even a faster rate than before. There's all sorts of external factors, the onset of AI, you have more data under management, data explosion, the risk of malware and ransomware attacking infrastructure, and just the growth and the sprawl of these fleets to support these organizations that are essentially trying to innovate or serve the mission that they serve to their customers in their space. And then not to mention changing job roles to fit all these new technologies, fit all these modern applications, or just the simple fact of losing that knowledge, that tribal knowledge that's across the IT department to, attrition. So complexity is increasing just externally, and our customers are looking for a storage platform that removes that complexity and takes that off their plate while they deal with all these external factors. And those storage management challenges we're talking about are just the idea of how to deploy workloads in their environment. Where do I deploy it? How do I keep track of capacity, there's growth? How do I make the right decision to place a workload across my fleet to not only serve its purpose, serve that end customer that needs it, but just to be, simply using my resources correctly? How do I manage this storage without having to either be under provisioned or really seriously over provisioned just to deal with that sprawl? And then, of course, observability. Like, how do I know where these workloads are? Am I putting the right workloads on the right class of storage? Am I putting it in the right location? How do I tag that data set, especially if I'm trying to simplify my management by putting things in large buckets? How do I do that across a fleet of storage without having to silo my storage for different use cases? And again, maybe not over provision and buy more than I need or buy the wrong type of storage for the wrong workloads. And then, of course, configuration. How do I keep with my regulatory requirements? How do I keep my configuration standards based on workloads, especially if I'm doing that in a manual process, right? If there's human interaction in there? How do I ensure that configuration is right and standard across my organization every time? And then data protection. We talked about malware, ransomware threats, those external threats from the organization. How do I ensure that my data is safe and I remove that risk, that human interaction, that manual process that may miss something in my environment? How do I know it's protected? How do I know it's protected every time, protected in the right manner? And how do I see that at a higher level, again, coming into compliance with what I need to do to serve this organization? If each system is managed separately, and you have different users picking different settings, this is just impossible across a fleet to set a standard. And that's really where this feature will benefit our customer base. The platform Pure Fusion is adding automation to these workflows no matter how automated the customer is. I could be fully automated or we can be 100% in the GUI. Fusion's going to offer the simplicity to handle all of those challenges we talked about in the previous slide, built into every array. It's not a separate license. It's going to help me provision workloads across my storage in a more controlled manner and based on presets that I can set to make sure that every time I pick a workload, I get those configurations, that data protection, everything, that baseline, the same every time I provision a workload. And it's not going to be separate from Pure. It's going to be available on the array. And that means it's going to be opened up to take advantage of every feature that Purity has to offer, from Fiber Channel to iSCSI, the NVMe, file and object, to the data protection features on the back end. So again, built into Purity, not in the data path, but a feature to help me provision across my fleet and assure that I do it the correct way every time. So truly taking those management challenges and building a platform across it so that I can go one step provisioning from a customized catalog of definitions that I set across my arrays, so that every time an admin, new or somebody that's been around forever, picks a workload, it is not only configured the correct way, has a correct set of data protection, but looks out across the fleet and makes recommendations and placement where it makes the most sense from a storage perspective, from a storage class perspective, I should say, from a cost perspective, from a performance perspective, and even from a capacity perspective. And all, as I can't say it too many times, built in to Purity from day one across the fleet. So nothing else to maintain, no other control plane. As I grow my storage fleet, I grow this storage plane. I no longer have to think of storage as these individual pieces, but really more of nodes inside this larger mesh of arrays across your fleet, divvied up by location or divvied up by division, whatever the need is, whatever that organization requires, is fully customizable, easy to use, easy to provision storage, built into Purity from day one. So let's get into a demo of what the feature looks like today. I am in the TestDrive lab. So this is the virtual lab that everybody internally, as well as vouchers, can be created for the customer. We can go in here and see what the next version of Fusion will look like in the GUI. So this will be the features that will be available in the GA release. And let's go ahead and get into it. I have already logged into the 3 arrays. And by the way, the complete instructions are here on the right. So self-paced walkthrough, I get everything that I'm essentially going to cover in this demo. So again, 3 arrays, flash array 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to show how to lock these all into one fleet, and then how you can provision objects across all these arrays. First thing you'll notice here in the right is this new icon and option called Fleet. It's not called Fusion here, it's called Fleet. That is the Fusion logo, but it is called Fleet. This will be there as soon as 6.8.x comes out. That feature will just be available and everybody can start using it. If I go to Fleet, first thing I'm going to be met with is this menu here that shows me 2 options. If we already had a fleet, we would join one. Since we're starting new, we're going to go ahead and create a new fleet by clicking such. Then we will name that fleet. I'm going to go ahead and use the naming convention laid out in that manual. Hit create a fleet, and that's it. Because this is a brand new fleet and I'm on Flash Array 1, could have done this from any of these arrays. Because I'm Flash Array 1 now becomes the first fleet member. Joined, remote arrays local, and I can see that. But we want to add more to the fleet. So let's go ahead and get those added in. So again, I'm going to go to Flash Array 2, same UI, same option. I click it, and now we're going to choose, you guessed it, join an existing fleet. Obviously, I could create a different fleet if I wanted a different set of arrays in there, but purpose of this lab again is to create a fleet out of these 3. First, we're going to find an existing. And if you remember, we're going to use that fleet name exactly as we spelled it out on this local array. And then we're going to have to enter a fleet key. Right here, it can give you an instruction on how to create that fleet key. But simply, I'm going to go back to the Flash Array 1. If I'm not in fleet, go ahead and get in there. And then up here in the right, we'll click the 3-dot menu and hit create fleet key. As we pull it up here, we can see that we have our new fleet key. It's all spelled out in front of us. We have the copy button here. You'll see that it's created. It is a temporary, right? And that's on purpose. And you'll see that actually 1 key for 1 join is going to be necessary. But you do have about an hour. It's actually 59 minutes and 59 seconds. And that could be good for that I'll be able to use it to join another array in this fleet. Okay, so we can copy it here if we wanted to keep it open. I'm going to go ahead and set copy and close. And I'm going to take that to this second array. Go ahead and hit paste, Control V, and hit join fleet. And boom, there we go. We got the 2 arrays in this fleet now. It's actually indicating that I'm on FlashArray 2. That's the local one, and FlashArray 1 is not. Obviously, the reverse is here, local and remote. And just a kind of a tidbit here. This is on a refresh cycle. I could, of course, hit refresh. The understanding it's about 32 seconds. So depending on where you did this operation, it may show up briefly, or you could just refresh the page if you don't see it right away. So there we go. We got 2 arrays in here. And now we want to add that third one in. I'm going to repeat that operation, go down to fleet here on the left. We're going to hit join an existing fleet. We're going to call the same fleet name. And you would say, hey, well, I've already got a fleet key. Could I not just join that now? And the answer is no. So kind of mentioned that before. One fleet key will let one array join into that fleet. This is an operation you only have to do once. This is intentional. So that way you intentionally add arrays to fleets. Somebody can't add an array to a fleet without your knowing, and then thus get, kind of elevated access that they shouldn't have. So again, one-time operation. Once you do this, you never have to recreate it. So we'll cancel that. So we'll go over here to one of the other flash arrays. We'll go ahead and hit create that fleet key. It's got a brand new key here. I'll hit copy and close. Return to flash array 3. Again, do create a DB fleet. There you go. It's remembered. And go ahead and paste it in there. Hit join fleet. And just like that, all 3 flash arrays are now in this fleet. If I go back through here, again, depending on the refresh cycle, I could just kind of pop that up there if I want. I'll see that all 3 flash arrays are now fleet members in this one fleet. Biggest change there, simple operation to get them all into one fleet. And now from any one of these flash arrays, one of these nodes, I can start to do provision. So in the first iteration of this, as it comes out GA, what we'll be able to do are make objects across. And what you'll see under things like host, is this idea of fleet view, where you can see what hosts are attached to which arrays in that fleet, and volumes as well. So if I go across volumes and fleet view, I can see volumes that are attached to hosts from different arrays, again, from any one of the arrays in this group. There's fleet view, just to kind of illustrate that. So now I can choose any one of these nodes and start creating objects. So go ahead and do one. I'm on FlashArray 3. That's the current array. I can put these into pods or volumes, really just all the options like I mentioned up front that I can do on a FlashArray, I'll be able to do inside this Fusion interface. So let's just name it. I'll just name it test. Give it a size. I can do QoS. I can put it in the default protection group or take it out, right? All the options are available to me, and I can even create multiples across. I can do groups of volumes, again, across other arrays in the same fleet. I'm on FlashArray 3, but let's say I wanted this on FlashArray 2. I could do the same. Again, wherever I want to put that. So version 1 is going to come out with the ability to provision across the fleets. Second wave is when we'll have those workloads and those catalog and that ability to kind of tie in to that AI of Pure 1. But out the gate, this is what the initial phase will look like. I'll hit create. If we look here again, I'm still on FlashArray 3. I can go see the test is right there. I can search for it in the same under volumes, under names, and I'll be able to do that from any array in the fleet, right? If I go over here to flash array 1, go under same storage, hit volumes, hit fleet view. See, it shows up there as well, right? Attached flat to flash array 2. I'm on flash array 1. And again, you can see how you can start to easily provision across all the arrays inside that defined fleet. Local array will show me local array. Obviously, it's not available. And again, this is same for hosts. And, you know, if I attach it to pods on locals, those volumes will show up in there. But again, I can provision that from wherever I want to in the fleet. It's a very easy process. Create a fleet, join your arrays to that fleet, and then start provisioning across them as you see fit. And that's really it. We'll do an update in the next wave of features. But until then, thank you for watching.